All right, so what we're talking about today are some of the listing tools that Century 21 has. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of those things. We'll go over some tools, we'll go over some marketing stuff, a few different things that we can do here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start in 21 Online. I just realized my volume was really low, so I hope you all heard that. All right, we're going to start with 21 Online. So I'm going to type in 21 Online in my browser. Okay. And I'm going to go to sign in. I'm going to use the company page so I have access to a few more things. You will have your sign in here. If you don't know your username, more likely than not, your username is your first name dot your last name at century21.com. So it'll be like robert.hertel at century21.com. It's not Century 21 Masters, it's Century 21. So I'm going to use the company one. So I have more access to things. Your password is whatever your password is. We as a company don't have any access to your password and we cannot reset it. So if you don't know your password, you have this great forgot password button right here. If you're still having issues, down here at the bottom right and very small is the help desk. I'll give the help desk credit for Century 21. They are fairly helpful. But that's what you would need to do to log in. I think I knew I didn't type that correctly. Robert, figure it out. Okay, so then you're going to log in here. Okay, first thing that I'm going to show you as far as one of our listing tools. So before I do anything, I'm not going to make this like a whole how to navigate 21 Online type of class, but just real quick, if you've never been in here or you're not totally familiar with it, there's two ways to get where you need to go. In the top right here, you have this menu button. You can click on menu. You can go to like market a listing, promote yourself. Like if I click on market a listing, it's got all these things, right? Promote yourself. It's got all these things, right? Or you could just search in this toolbar. I tend to more search in the toolbar probably because I already know what the names of some of these things are. So it's easier for me to do that. But if you've never done it before, maybe you want to go to that menu button and see all the different things that we have going on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start here in this toolbar. And one of the first tools I'm going to show you is Golden Ruler. And if you've already seen Golden Ruler, stick around because I got a couple interesting things to say about that might help you, not just for the report, but actually getting listings. So if I type in Golden Ruler, you'll notice two things come up. There's the Golden Ruler, which is about Golden Ruler, or the Golden Ruler app, which actually gets me to Golden Ruler. So I want to pick the Golden Ruler app. If you're really bored and you can't sleep at night, you're more than welcome to click on the Golden Ruler and read all about it. But I don't think you need to do that. So let's just go straight to the app. Okay, got the Golden Ruler app. So it's going to take me here. What Golden Ruler is, if you're not totally familiar with it, is it shows all the online activity that your listings have gotten. So like, for example, you go on a listing presentation, you tell the seller, well, we're going to put your listing on 500 different websites. We're going to do all this other stuff. Great. This is actually a report that shows how many people have viewed the property, things along those lines. So you're going to get here. This is going to be your dashboard. Your dashboard, it's not much to this because it's kind of confusing. Main thing you want to look at over here is listings. Okay. You see this listing thing over here on the left. Click on listings. Now I've got access to the whole company. You will only have access to your listings. So I was actually searching for something earlier, which is why this is not showing up, the whole company. So you see here, I have the whole company stuff here. You will just see your listings. But being that I was already doing this earlier, I'm just going to use this one. So let's say you have a listing here at Vallecito. Okay. So there's a couple things I want to show you. So you have your listing here. Over here on the right, you have this blue box that says View, Share, Seller Report. So I'm going to share with you what this looks like. So this is a report. I hope everybody can see this little screen here. It says Century 21s, 1837 Vallecito Drive, picture. Okay, if you can't see the picture of the property in this little report, please let me know. So this is a report that gets created that you can send out to your seller. So it's pretty nicely done. It's got the address, the information, picture of the property. The picture is just the first picture they pull up from the MLS. But you see here, this property has 8,930 views. So that means online, and here's the websites that have the most popular: Zillow, CoreLogic, Realtor, so on and so forth. Zillow's always going to be number one. Since this listing's been active, it's generated 8,930 views online. So this is a really great report that you should be providing to your seller on a weekly basis so they can see all the activity going on in their property. So this does a couple things. One, it keeps you in front of the client so they can they never say, oh, I don't hear from them. I never get anything from them. I never get any updates. They get a weekly report. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. Two, it's just powerful information that shows how well you're doing. That, wow, I have this really nice report that shows that, you know, Robert has 8,930 views on my property. That's really great. So it shows great for you. The third thing is that this isn't as popular right now, but could be later on. This is great if you need a price reduction. So what I mean by that is, if you go to a seller and you ask them for a price reduction, are they generally excited? No. Do they generally agree that it's the market? No. Do they generally agree that it's the price? No. Do they generally agree that it's you? Yes. You're not doing your job. You're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can eliminate that problem by sending them this report every week so they can see that, or you bring this report to them when you're asking for a price reduction. So you could use a script, something to the capacity of, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as you can see, we've generated 8,930 views on this property. Now you could just stop there, okay? And then go into, do you think on 8,930 views, and we don't have any offers too close to your price, is it more likely the marketing's not working, or is it more of a price issue? Okay, so you could stop there. I tend to think that you should make it bigger. So here's what I mean. Mr. and Ms. Sellers, you can see we've had 8,930 views online through the marketing that we've generated. On top of that, this got sent out to all 200 agents in our company, one of the top Century 21 offices in the entire world. All 200 agents got this listing in front of them for 4 straight days.
What's this called?
Golden Ruler.
Well, yeah, but you said it was something else. Is it Golden Ruler?
If I said something else, I apologize, but it's definitely Golden Ruler.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Like Rain Man, definitely Golden Ruler. All right, so we generate 8,930 views. It's also went out to 200 agents in our company. On top of that, I talked to 200 people around your neighborhood trying to find a buyer for your property. And we also had 15 showings on your property as well. So really, this 8,930 is more closer to 9,500 eyes and ears that have seen your property, and we don't have any offers. Now, do you think, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that it's the marketing and the exposure that the issue is, or do you think there might be just a little difference in your price versus the consumers? So this is a really powerful tool that you can use for that type of conversation. Now, you'll also notice, though, here on this website, it doesn't include Redfin. I get this question all the time. It doesn't show Redfin. That's right. Redfin does not release data. So Zillow will release it, Realtor.com, all these people release data, Redfin won't. So you can actually even use that to your advantage. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we have 8,930 views, and that doesn't even include Redfin. That could be another 1,000. We could be closer to 10,000. That doesn't include the Facebook post. That doesn't include the Instagram post. That doesn't include the emails to my database. That doesn't include XXXX. We could be at 10,000 plus views on this property, really. So that's kind of how you navigate that. Okay. Now, here's where this is also really powerful, and I'll get to where you can schedule this in a second. I think you should take this report on a listing presentation. Why? That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked. So imagine you go on a listing presentation. What do most real estate agents say about their listing presentation? They use vague terms. I'm going to use a ton of marketing. We've got the best marketing. Your listing's going to be everywhere. They use a lot of vague terms. There's nothing specific. Well, imagine you print out this report and the next listing you go on, you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to promote your property online to a lot of different buyers. And can I dive into that for a second? Sure. Would you like to know how many people actually view your property? Oh yeah, that would be very helpful. Well, we have this report that we're going to send to you once a week. And as a matter of fact, here's a copy of the report of my most current listing. This report's going to get emailed to you every week. And as you can see in my most current listing, it's got 8,930 views. So I'm just curious. I can't guarantee I'm going to get 8,930 views on your property, but fair to say that my marketing is going to get you a few thousand views and this report's going to show it. Is that helpful? Oh, that's very helpful. Like that's the type of report that you can bring on a listing presentation, because that's a lot of views and no one else is providing that. No one else is giving them that kind of specific data, and no one else is going to be able to provide that on a weekly basis. That's a huge thing. You know, what do you do to sell my home? I got 8,930 views on this one. I could probably do something similar for you. Okay. So that's really great. You could even have some fun with it. You know, now the truth is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I hope we don't get to 8,000 views. Can I tell you why? Why? I hope it's sold in a day. I hope we get so many offers in a day that your report only has 1,000 views. You know, something along those lines. You can have some fun with it, but download this report, bring it on your next listing. Now, here's the thing though. This is a really key point that you need to understand. This is only in Golden Ruler when the listing is active. Meaning once you move it from active in the MLS to pending or closed or canceled or withdrawn or on hold, it moves out of Golden Ruler. So before you do that, go in here and print out the report for this property so you can use that on your next listing. I also think this could be great for prospecting if you're door knocking. Now, maybe you have to black out some of the address stuff or things like that, but imagine door knocking an area. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, my name's Robert Hertel. I'm sure you saw my listing sign down the street on your neighbors at 123 Main Street. I just wanted to provide you this report that shows you that we had 8,930 views online of their property. That's how busy this area is with buyers. I'm just curious, have you considered selling your property? Maybe we can get all these people to see yours. They see this report going, holy crap, 8,930 people saw that property. And of course, theirs is better. You get to 10,000 easy. So there's a lot of cool listing stuff you can do with this one particular report. Very interesting. Now, the last couple things I'll show you on this, and I'll move on to something else. You'll also notice on this report is the top 10 cities. What this is, these are the top 10 cities that are searching for your property, meaning that the computer that was used to search for the property was in this city. This is where it pinged. Now, it could be someone's home. It could be someone's work, could be whatever, right? So it's tough to tell. Now, I have no idea if what I'm going to say next is a good idea or will work at all, but I'll just share with you a thought. So let's say, for example, that this listing is not selling, right? You're not getting any activity. Now, this listing happens to be in Hacienda Heights. The city will probably always be number one, whatever city it's located in. LA is kind of big, so you can't really dictate where. But you see Pasadena and Whittier 3 and 4. So Pasadena and Whittier, people in those two cities seem to be fairly active on this property in terms of the top 10 cities. So maybe you could do some prospecting in Pasadena to promote this property. Maybe you can do some prospecting in Whittier to promote this property. Maybe that's where the next buyer is coming from. I have no proof that that's a good idea, but I just wanted to share that with you because I think that's kind of interesting. Some of the things you can do with that. Okay. So this is a really cool report that you can provide yourselves. And look at that. Look at that smiling face of Mr. Jack Ma there. Isn't he a handsome devil? All right. So very, very cool stuff. Now, how do you send this out? So let me go back here. So here you are back at your listings. So that was the blue button I just showed you. So now you have, I feel like I'm in the Matrix. There's the red pill, and then you take the blue pill. So here's the green button, schedule delivery of seller report. Okay. So if you click on schedule delivery of seller report, this page will come up that says report delivery. This is where you can schedule this report to go out. So you type in the seller name, first name, last name, their email address. If you want it to go to multiple emails, you can, CC or BCC people. Okay. This is the reply to. So this is Jack's email. If you wanted to reply to something else, you can change that. Copy the agent. This is just a basic template of what's going to be sent out. You can edit this if you want, but this is the subject line. This is the body of the email. So again, you can just click in it. You can edit it if you want to. Okay. Now, a couple of things I want to note here. So that's all pretty basic. You're just typing in the information, but this is kind of important. Suppress metrics from competing brokers. This automatically defaults to do not include metrics from competing brokers. That's good. Okay. You don't want to, when you do the top one, you just have more explaining to do. And I don't think anyone wants more explaining to do. So do not include metrics from competing brokers. Now the blue one, I'll leave it up to you, but I'll share with you my thoughts on this. This is where you can include leads or never include leads. In my personal opinion, you should click on never include lead inquiries. What that means is the report you just saw didn't show any leads. If you include lead inquiry, that means it'll show, well, this is how many people clicked on request information. This is how many leads you got from the property. Well, if a seller sees that there's 4 or 5 leads on the property, they're going to turn to you and go, how come these 4 or 5 people haven't bought this property? And you can explain to them why and all these other things, but it just puts you more on the spot. It's going to be another question for the seller as to what happened to these leads. I would rather just put never include leads and let's just focus on the views. That's my own thing. You do whatever it is you want. Delivery options, I would recommend sending it weekly. You click on the send weekly. If you want it sent every 2 weeks, monthly, immediately. Based on today's market, sending it monthly doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Probably sending it bi-weekly doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I would either just send it weekly or just send one. Okay. And then you hit submit. Now, the cool thing is that when you hit send weekly, it will automatically send it every week until you either stop it or move it out of active. So remember, this is tied to the MLS. So as long as it's listed as active, it will automatically send out this report unless you go in here and stop it. But as soon as you move it from active to anything else, pending, closed, expired, canceled, hold, withdrawn, whatever, it will automatically stop sending the report to the seller. So you don't have to go back in and stop it or anything like that. So it's kind of neat. It's more of a set it and forget it type of system if you just click send weekly. So it's kind of neat in that particular regards. So I'm going to go back again. If you just go into Golden Ruler, you go to your listings, you find your listings, you click on this green button, and that's how you can schedule this for your sellers, and they get it however often you want to, and it's a set it and forget it thing. So it's pretty neat. Okay. And then again, click on this blue button, download the report. If you want to do any prospecting, if you need to do any price negotiations, if you want to take it on a listing appointment, pretty cool stuff. Okay. If your listings are not showing up in Golden Ruler, I'll have to look into that. Just let me know. None of the past listings will show up. Again, once it's out of active, it's gone. It doesn't show up in Golden Ruler anymore. That's why if you want to use the report for prospecting or a listing presentation, you need to download it before you move it away from active in the MLS, because once it goes there, it's no longer in Golden Ruler. But if your listings, if your active listings aren't showing up, let me know and I'll look into that. Okay, so that is Golden Ruler. Questions at all on that? Okay, very cool. All right, going back. Let's go back to 21 Online. Okay, so I want to show you kind of, well, I guess I'll just show you the whole thing. There's a couple things I really want to highlight that I've never shown before. Let's do that. So in terms of marketing, okay, a couple things that I want to show, and then I'll go into my listings. Let's say you're looking for some flyers for your property. There's obviously Business Builder, but I want to show you kind of some nicer looking flyers in my opinion. So we're going to go to Toolkit CMA. So again, you can get there either going to the menu, but for time purposes, I'm just going to keep going to this toolbar. Toolkit CMA. Again, the app. I want to go to the app. Toolkit CMA app. What Toolkit CMA is, and I'm not going to go over in detail Toolkit CMA particularly, but this is how you can create a CMA for your listing, right? So I'm not going to focus on that today. I'll go over that another day on how to create a CMA for your listing. But what I do want to show here is create a property flyer. So you go to Toolkit CMA, this is how you create a presentation, but right here it says create a property flyer. If I create a property flyer, you scroll down here, they have a lot of different templates available, and I gotta tell you, some of these flyers are pretty nice. So if you're looking for some kind of clean cut, I mean, they even have some colorful stuff, depending on the type of property, I mean, different things along those lines. It's got certain backgrounds like beach background. This is a beach background. You know, they have different stuff that you can use. Here's something like if it's like a lake house or something along those lines. Here's something for snow. Apparently it's snowing in places. These are actually some pretty sleek flyers that you could do. Jocelyn and I were in here the other day working on some stuff, and there's actually some pretty cool, pretty neat things. Now, what's kind of nice is let's say you like this one right here, okay? Kind of like the blue, whatever. I can hit create, and it takes me to this page here where I can just enter in the information for the property. So if I click on like download a property, for example, it'll take me to the MLS where I can go into the MLS and select a property. So it's kind of neat, okay? But there's some really nice flyers that you can use in here. So I would highly recommend that if you want to look for some nice flyers, maybe you even, create like a sample flyer for their property that you can take with them to give an idea of the type of marketing that you can do. Some pretty neat flyers in here in Toolkit CMA. So again, if you just go to 21 Online, let me go back and do that again. 21 Online, I go to Toolkit CMA. Again, while you're in Toolkit CMA, you can actually look at how to create a CMA in there. It's all branded and stuff like that. I'll do another class on that. Just takes more time. And then right here, flyers, some pretty neat flyers that you can have in there. So I would recommend if you're going to do some property flyers, they don't cost you anything to create. If you want to print on like specific paper or print in the office, whatever, that would cost you. But to create it doesn't cost anything. You just create property flyer. And you can download property straight from the MLS. It'll have the photos, descriptions, the whole thing. All right, so I wanted to kind of show that to you because I know we're talking a lot about marketing, things like that. I would also say though that, if you're looking at some more specific listing marketing and things like that, get with Jocelyn and she can help create some different flyers and things along those lines. Okay, next thing I want to show you is the next thing. So I'm in 21 Online. I want to go to My Listings. My listings. Okay, there's my listings. Pretty simple, just my listings. This is going to pull up your listings. So if you don't already know this, if you have a listing with Century 21, so let's say you have this listing over here on Mountain House Drive in Riverside, California. Okay. If you click on the picture, it's going to bring you this information. So what I want to show you here is unique property sites and video. So I don't know, I think some of you know this, but maybe you just don't know how to get to it. You click on this button and this little box pops up. I don't know. I hope if everyone can see this little box, says unique property site, branded tour. Sometimes I don't know what's sharing when boxes pop up. Okay. So this box pops up. This link to your unique property website. This is the link to your virtual tour. This is the link to your YouTube video. All gets created for you at no additional cost. It's all part of the Century 21. Okay. So let's say, for example, this is the unique property website. You can see, look at Freddie's smiling face. They're all suited up, right? 593 Mountain House Drive, C21, right? It's got the video slideshow. It's got your information on here. Okay. It's got, this is an individual property website. Why is this important? It's just an extra tool that your client makes. It makes you speak, Robert. It makes your client feel important. Okay. That, hey, I'm also doing this. Now, this is probably not going to drive a lot of people to this as far as seeing this individual website, but it makes your client feel important that you create an individual property website. And how great is this for marketing? You know, when it says share listing, you know, you could share this on your Facebook page, your Twitter, your Instagram, all these other different things. And so now your database is seeing that, wow, look at Freddie, you know, not only is busy, but that's pretty cool. He created an individual property website for his listing. Now, some of you, your friends are not going to realize how tech savvy you are that you were able to build a website. Look at you all. Like, they don't know. They just thought that you created this website. So pretty neat stuff. So it's got the home, the gallery, the map. You can, they'll request a showing, all these other different things. So pretty neat stuff there for your individual property website that you get no matter what. So you can kind of do that. And you go to YouTube. Let's say I want to go to YouTube. Hey, Mr. Marcel, we're also going to put your property on YouTube. And there it is. All right. It's got,
searching for a home that will
I don't know
fit
if
your
you can
lifestyle?
hear this.
This spacious property offers over 3,900 square feet of living space.
Here, hold on. Let me do something here. So you can kind of, because I want to show you something else. So let me share this, share my computer sound so you can kind of see how it sounds, right? Let's listen.
Searching for a home that will fit your lifestyle? This spacious property offers over 3,900 square feet of living space,
So
featuring 5 bedrooms.
as you can see there is a voiceover reading it. So you get this YouTube video of your property. Again, is it going to garner thousands and millions of views? Are you all of a sudden going to be an influencer? No, but your seller loves it because they're looking for what makes you different. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what makes me different? I'm going to give you this report. I'm going to get you 8,930 views. I'm also going to have a unique property website. Your property is so unique, it deserves its own website. It also deserves its own YouTube video. This is all stuff. Like, this is the kind of stuff that some of these sellers think, wow, they're really going over the top. So you can use these kind of things. Pretty neat stuff. Now, what I want you to see though, is when you have this YouTube thing here, you can edit the video. So if you click on edit video, I fear doing this because I think some of you are going to get a little too wild with your editing. Okay. But you click on edit video and it brings you to this page where you can edit some of your stuff, right? and do these different things. Video manager, video settings, select the design. If you don't like the color scheme, okay, you can do some of these types of things and edit some of your videos and all this other stuff, right? So pretty cool things that you can do with your website. Okay, and then it's got the virtual tour here as well. So this is where, so if you go to my listings, you click on the listings, this is where you would view unique property sites, videos, all these other things. You can also click on property flyers, postcards, things like that. The other thing I want to show you though here is post social media ads. So when you click on your listing, there's a thing here. It says post social media ads. You click on that and it brings you to the social media ad engine. So let's just say you wanted to run an ad on social media. This is a step-by-step process that's really easy for you to do that. Okay, create ad campaign and you're off and running. And you can go step-by-step on creating a social media ad campaign. So if you wanted to do anything like that, they'll really just help you go through this whole thing. Now, again, it'll bring up your listings. Okay, so you can click on whatever listing you want to do. So let's just say, I'm not actually going to do one, but you could just, I don't know, what's the first one? This is the first one. I click on this one, I click promote, and then it's just going to take me to the step process of actually doing a social media ad. And where do I want it to go? Who do I want to target? How much is it going to be? So on and so forth. And then you just pay right then and there. All right. So kind of cool stuff there. So it's just another tool that you can easily do those kind of things. If you're not 100% sure on doing a social media ad and you're like, I don't know who I should be targeting, what should I say, get with Jocelyn or even Karen, who's our admin in Irvine. She's pretty savvy with some of this stuff as well. So she can help you do some of these social media things. But again, this is just if you go to my listings, you can get all these really neat things from your listings. And it's not, these things are really all about that extra promotion that your client's going to like and the outside world is going to like. Okay. And this is how you get these extra referrals like, oh, they did this, they did that, they did this. Okay. That all these other agents aren't going to do. And this is all part of your deal with Century 21. So you might as well use it. Okay. Questions on any of that stuff? All right. Pretty cool stuff that you got going on there. All right, good. So that's social media ad engines. That's unique property sites. We went over some flyers, some really nice flyers from Toolkit CMA. We went over Golden Ruler. Very good. Okay, so going back to 21 online.
Robert, could you give me the host, please?
Sure. I don't see that in 21 online. There you go.
Thank
All
you.
right, very good. So that's some of the different things that you can do there. Now, the last thing I want to show you, and then we'll wrap it up for today, because I know we got different things here. So I do want to show you another listing tool in Business Builder. So Business Builder. So I'm going to search Business Builder, access Business Builder. So this is a CRM. I'm not going to go into the CRM part of it today. This is a CRM that you get as part of being Century 21. So for those of you that are using your cell phone or an Excel spreadsheet, you should at least use this. Okie dokie. So what I want to go through here, go to marketing again. So I showed you a couple marketing flyers in Toolkit CMA. Business Builder also has some marketing flyers that you can use, but one of the things Business Builder also has is you can create more like newsletters, pamphlets, things along those lines that you have the ability to do. So for example, let's say that I wanted to do email and video marketing. And And so I click on email marketing. I go to collections. So right here, go to collections. It's got all these other different things I can do, but I want to talk about my property. So I click on property marketing. And I pick this template, just listed. And all I have to do is if I type in the MLS number, it will bring up my listing. And I personalize it. And it's automatically going to bring the first picture from the MLS, the address, the property description. Your information's going to automatically be loaded up here. So I can take this listing and do a blast out email right away. I can edit this as much as I want. I can change the colors. I can change the fonts. You can do all this, whatever you want. You're going to save this, Snap Gold test, save it. Exit. And then when I do that, I have right here, I can compose an email and blast this email marketing out to my entire database if I want to, or to certain people. Okay, so pretty easy way to be able to just do a quick email blast out to people, or I can take that flyer and I can also post it on, I click publish to web and share. I can post it on the Facebook, Instagram, all those other different things. So pretty easy and convenient way for me to create something for my listings and be able to promote out. Okay, so kind of cool stuff that you have there. And then if you click on listings and click on market my listings, this will bring up whatever listings you have. Oh, that's right, because nothing's under Neil's name. Office listings. This will just show your listings, but you have your office listings here. This will show where I can post it on my listing on Facebook, LinkedIn. I can send out a blast email. I can create some marketing, all these different things right here from this particular page. So it's just more marketing stuff that you can do for your listings right here through Business Builder. A lot of neat things. So good stuff. Questions on any of the stuff I went over today? No? Good stuff. All right. So look, there's more stuff, but I wanted to at least show you the basics of some of these different tools that Century 21 has in the system that they don't cost you any extra money. They work really well. Golden Ruler, if nothing else, is a #1 tool that you should be using, and you can use that for 4 or 5 different things, which is pretty neat. You have your unique property websites, you have a YouTube video, you have virtual tours, you could do social media campaigns. You have some really nice flyers for properties in Toolkit CMA. You could do email blasts really easily through Business Builder. So a lot of really neat things that are really easy for you to utilize in 21 Online for your different listing things. So good stuff there. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to show today. Hopefully there was 1 or 2 things there that are helpful. Good stuff. Oh, you know what? I was going to stop recording, but Neil's the host, and so he's the only one that can stop it. So we're just going to keep on recording. So everyone better say nice things. Okay.
Good job. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah.